The advent of Ayyannavalli Ganpati as Sripada Srivallabha. Chapter 5, Part 2. Om Sai Ram. Tirumala Das began to speak. Sir, today is a good day. I had the good fortune of seeing you. I am eagerly waiting to inform you about the important events of Malayadripuram and Pithikapuram. My dear Shankar Bhatt, you received the prasadam of Varasiddhi Vinayak. You commence writing Sripad SrivallabhaCharithamrutham book from today. You will receive the blessing of Sripad Srivallabha in Kurvapuram. I was a great Vedic scholar in my previous life, and I was a great miser too. At the time of my death, I noticed that the calf that was just born was chewing an old rag. As I was concentrated my looks on the dirty linen at the time of my death, I am now born as a washerman. A person gets a birth according to his concentrated wishes at the time of his last breath, at the termination of a birth. Due to my good deeds in the past, I was born in Malayadripuram of Palnad region in Gartapuri district. This Malayadripuram became Maladi in the passage of time. In that village, there were two families with their surnames as Maladi. One is the family of Maladi Bapana Vadhanalu, who was a great scholar. He belonged to the lineage of sage Haritas. The other one was Maladi Sridhara Vadhanalu, who was also a great scholar. He belonged to the lineage of sage Kaushika. The sister of Sridhara Vadhanulu, Rajamamba, was given in marriage to Bapana Vadhanulu. Both the brothers-in-law were erudite pandits. Both of them went to Ayyannavalli village in the region of Godavari for the great sacrifice of golden Ganpati. Some savants argued that according to scriptures, Ganpati should receive the final fire ritual with his trunk and grant his vision of bright golden hues. The two great scholars who were officiating over the conduct of the major sacrifice swore that they would strictly manage all proceedings according to the Vedic scriptures, and that they would make Sri Mahaganpati emerge before their eyes. At the end of the sacrifice, Ganapati granted his vision of golden colored brilliance and accepted the last fire ritual with his trunk. He also declared that he would incarnate shortly on a Ganesh Chaturthi day with complete potencies and virtues. All those who attended the ritual were amazed. There were 3 atheists in that congregation. They raised a controversy that all that was seen was only an exhibition of magic and hypnotism, and that Ganpati did not figure at all in the final sacrifice. They argued that if it was genuine, Ganpati should grant them proof once again. The greatness of Kanipaka Vinayak. Then the holy ash in the sacrificial pit took a human form and changed afterwards as Mahaganpati. Then the Mahaganpati form said, "Fools! Before Shiva killed Tripusura, before Vishnu subdued Bali, before Vishnu obstructed Ravan from taking away the Atmalingam of Shiva, and before Parvati Devi slayed Mahishasur, before Adishesh shouldered the weight of the earth, before Siddhas achieved occult powers, before Cupid conquered the world, and before celestials obtained their desires, they all worshipped me. I am the repository of all the powers. I am omnipotent. Divine forces as well as devilish forces are within me. I cause all obstacles. I am also the remover of all obstacles. Who do you think Dattatreya is? He is verily Dharmashastra, the son of Hari and Hara. Brahma and Rudra merged in Vishnu is the form of Datta. Ganapati and Shanmukh merged in Dharmashastra form also is the form of Datta. Know it that Datta is always a personification of the Trinity. As an indication that Mahaganpati is in the form of Sripada Srivallabha, his incarnation will take place on Ganesh Chaturthi. Be it known that the traits of Subramanya will make him a Gyan Avatar. Note that his aspect of Dharmashastra will show that he is the beginning and origin of all righteous activities and rituals. His ensuing incarnation is not the result of coercion between parents. Illuminating light takes a human form. I am cursing you. In spite of seeing the personification of truth with eyes, one of you uttered falsehood. He would be born blind. The other one ridiculed the personification of truth instead of praising it with speech. He would be born mute. And the third one would take birth as a deaf one because he paid a deaf ear to the truth told by so many truthful devotees. The three of you would take birth as brothers, and after seeing my self-manifested figure, you will be redeemed of your sins. My dear, those three persons were born as brothers in Kanipakam. If the Trinity is abused, or Datta, the personification of the Trinity, is abused, countless calamities occurs. These brothers took land measuring 1 kani and were cultivating in it. In that field there was a ground well. They used to draw water from the well with the help of a lever and a bucket attached to it. There was a severe drought one year. The groundwater level depleted. On one day, when all the water dried up, the brothers attempted to remove sand with a shovel. The shovel hit a rock under the water and blood oozed out. When his hand touched the blood, the mute one gained speech. Water was rising in the well. The deaf one was cured of his disability on touching the water, and the third one, who was blind, gained sight when he touched the rock in the water. That rock is the self-manifested Vinayak statue. As the shovel hit the rocky icon on the head, blood started streaming out from there. To install the Varasiddhi Vinayak, Satguru Bapanavadhanulu and his brother-in-law Sridharavadhanalu visited that village. Varasiddhi Vinayak said to them, I came from Mahabhumi to this world. I am incarnated in the earthen nature. This nature will undergo many changes in due course of time. My advent already took place in the nature of water, fire, air, and heaven. The holy ash in the great sacrifice conducted in Ayyannavalli took this form. I am instructing you about the future duties. The degrees of potencies of Kalas in Srishaila are one of the vein. You have to harness the brilliant power of the sun and deposit that power there. On the very day you perform Shaktipat in Sri Shaila, by my grace Shaktipat will take place in Gokarna, Kashi, Badri and Kedar at the same time. The time is getting ripe for the incarnation of Sripad Srivallabha. Sridhara, I am changing your surname to Sripada. Your family members belonging to the lineage of Kaushika shall henceforth thrive with the surname of Sripada. My dear Shankara, Sridhara Vadanalu and Bapana Vadanalu migrated to Pithikapuram. I witnessed many childhood plays of Sripada Srivallabha. I will narrate them with more details tomorrow. I had a boy from my first wife. His name is Ravidas. He resides in Kuruvapuram village and is rendering appropriate services to Sripada. I am staying with my second wife and children in Kanipakam, abiding by the orders of Sripada. Here I am living following my family profession. You will meet many great people in Pithikapuram. You will learn many important things on meeting the noble Vaishya Pinda Venkatappaya Shreshti. Sripada used to call him with a change in a name as Venkappa Shreshti. The protecting hand of Sripad is available for the family of Shreshti. Meet Vatsavai Narsimha Verma also. He has close affinity with Sripad Swami. The book to be written by you on the life of Sripad Srivallabha will be blessed by Sri Charana. Except for the book you write, there will be no other way that could portray the comprehensive history of Sripad Srivallabha. This is the order of Sripad Srivallabha. Om Sai Ram.